Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Bring It On. Let's humble the Oracle of Wael.
Yeah, right.
I already have piercing damage set up. It's pretty resistant against all elements.
I bring your end.
Let's go ahead and pop Power Surge on Aloth. Get a Moonwell up there. Get raw damage ticking on the Oracle. More raw damage on the Oracle.
That was about as useful. It's a bump on a pickle.
Aye.
I keep throwing out some healing. And we'll see if Adair can crowd control this guy a little bit.
Happy to oblige. That was about as useful.
Alright, Adair, go ahead and put some raw damage on the Shimmering Dream Beast.
It's a bump on a pickle.
Once you got the one heal off, I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
Flickers.
Just being focused by the Oracle, which is a huge problem.
That dog won't hunt.
Which is about to go down. Gouging Strike is on that guy. Let's out some more piercing damage because he's susceptible to it. I'll finish off this Observer real quick as well.
Find this spell speed.
Here we go.
The Observer is almost down. I can probably finish it off with Fan of Flames. And pull a dare back to take care of this guy. I feel like Facina isn't a ton of help here. Oh, the Observer's gone. Did we kill it? No, that's fine either way. Get some more raw damage out. Another debuff. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing something with this. Empower 5 abilities. Let's do that real quick.
Take him down.
I guess there's a reason not to use console out here. I don't think we're gonna have trouble winning. But we'll take a rest after this, since we should go back to the Temple of Revelation, I assume.
I did not con this spell speed.
Throw some crush damage on this guy, and some more burn damage.
About taxed to my limit.
Aloth is down.
blood.
Alright, let's get to work on this guy. I am perfectly okay with Console Hot being targeted. This worked greatly in my favor. Alright. Can't wrap this up.
Something I can do? Let's go!
Torres, be gone! Too fast. For me.
Hey, good job, Facina. Anger and pain rolls off the sagging entity, sweeping over you.
Unacceptable!
The entity quivers, one of its eye stalks glaring balefully at you.
You disrupt our precious library, spoil our artifacts, and yet expect release? We should...
The creature winces with every eye.
Fine! Go! We release you! Interfere no further!
You done? Actually, option 3. You're hardly in a position to be making demands.
What is the alternative? Staying here? I hate to say it, Kazita, but the eyeball creature might know best.
Go! Flee! Escape! Abscond! Issue forth!
Its eyes flutter as you feel a tingling sensation like static dancing across your skin. Your stomach leaps within your belly as the darkness deepens.
You okay there? Looking a little rough around the edges.
Option 2. I think I just met the one who's running this place. Ungroth's eyebrows shoot up in an expression of genuine surprise. He quickly stifles it.
I suppose I should have expected Wael would leave something behind to guard this place. For now, you must get to the archives. So long as Maura has free reign of this place, Aora remains in grave danger.
What you want, Ground Stink?
I like the 5% resistance against spells. But this costs more. I'm gonna go with this.
Eothas will take what remains of your soul.
I associate the cost of the...
What you want, Grandson?
I'd say room, but in this case, drug.
Something
with
I can
the
do.
benefit that it provides
I
wherever
trust
you
you.
take it at, but...
Always nice to see a friendly face, even if it doesn't have any skin on it.
Tane winks at Console Hot.
I despise you, Tane. If I had hands, I would wring your scrawny neck. That goes for everyone in earshot.
The head rotates, taking in its surroundings.
What a filthy, disorganized hovel.
You're one to talk. I saw your library at Craggold.
You have no basis on which to judge me, simpleton. I've seen what you carry.
He narrows his eyes.
Ugh. I have forgotten how much I detest mortal company. The stench alone is unbearable.
I have some questions for you, Console Hot.
We have nothing to discuss, you insipid pustule. I have found more competent sea captains floating face down in watery graves. What would you like to know?
Console Hot narrows his eye sockets. What do you know about Wael's body?
It will swallow you like a piece of half-chewed gristle, depositing you where you belong atop a divine dung heap. Beyond that, I know little.
Would you look at that? Consul Hot, the all-knowing, finds a blind spot in his education.
Underestimating me would be your greatest mistake, apprentice. One that I will not stop you from making.
Any thoughts on our current mission?
Our mission? If you presume to imagine that we have similar goals, allow me to correct your catastrophic error in judgment.
Oh, fantastic. You've wound him up again.
We have only one thing in common. We both want you to die.
Why would you want that?
I am indifferent to your existence, but you clearly desire a worthy end. Isn't it obvious? The way you launch yourself into peril at every turn? These are the actions of one who has lived too long, wandered too far, and willingly climbs to the precipice of oblivion. Self-annihilation is the most natural ambition a sentient mind can achieve. And when you find yours, I will be there to cheer you on.
You sure you don't want me putting him in my lantern?
She scowls at the skull. That's all for now.
I will be listening, Watcher. I always am. And when my time comes, you will pray for the indignity of bobbing in my shadow. No, yours will be a more horrible fate. That is a promise.
I miss that guy.
Tane grins up at the skull as it slowly rotates in quiet loathing. You and Console Hot aren't in the best of terms.
It's not like that. We're good friends. We just disagree on everything.
Your chaotic orb is amateurish folly. Any half-wit can lose control of a spell and be delighted by its unpredictable consequences. Your career should have been consigned to the waste bin of history before it even began.
That's our Console Hot, right? You old trickster.
Tane scratches the back of his head and chuckles softly.
You return with news, I hope. Very well.
I remembered.
Hey, back to the archives. Or the scriptorium. Either or. I do want to speak to the Chief Librarian once again, now that we have defeated her Oracle. I guess it's not her Oracle specifically, but the Oracle.
Greetings, visitor. Welcome back to the scriptorium. How else might I help you? She generally limits her excursions to the archives. She respects...
How may I help? Oh, of course. How may I help?
Something I can do?
How may I...
I'll see what I can find.
What do you need?
How may I help?
I can restock on those real quick.
Indeed.
And check out this pedestal. The light shining upon the book resting on this pedestal seems to darken the words on the volume's pages. The writing grows slick and indistinct, eventually running down the slanted pages and off the tome entirely, into a trough set along the bottom of the lectern to catch it. Ink runs from between the pages as well, giving the impression that the book weeps. When the last of the ink dribbles from the book, the pages are left entirely blank. Leave it be.
Oh, indeed.
So I'm assuming we can bring a book there to get rid of its words.
On it.
A dark opening in the fleshy monstrosity below permits this support. I know we haven't checked this out yet. We'll return to that momentarily.
Oh, indeed.
Hey.
Yes?
Nice and quiet.
Yes? Oh, indeed. Aye?
This brazier burns brightly before you, blazing with a heat so intense it threatens to scald you from yards away. Touch the flame. Of course. Put a shaking hand to the fire and immediately recoil in pain. The skin on your blistered extremity twists and bubbles, weeping from open sores. What sort of resolve check is that? I guess you don't have high enough resolve you can't even touch it. Throw Helder's horn into the flames. The godlike's horn glows, first purple, then a bright red, before erupting in a shower of sparks that spray the floor around the brazier. Okay, so we have to find something to activate at the lectern over here. To activate the other side of this, which I assume opens that. The squat device before you hums quietly, except that it's entirely silent. The humming sensation, you realize, happens not in your ears, but at the edge of your mind. Picture the key you received from the memory hoarder in your mind's eye. You place your hands on either side of the machine. The not quite sound grows louder. It gives you the impression of a growling stomach, hungry for something within you. Sacrifice a memory. A prickling sensation scales your arms, sliding into the joints of your shoulders, and slipping up your spine and into the base of your skull. You feel lessened somehow, as something slips from your mind like something you just meant to say. It flows down your arms and into the trephine, which swirls contentedly. The machine quiets, returning to its inactive state. Nothing further happens. Okay, that looks like all we can do here for now. To the central stacks. I Don't think a broom's gonna help with that. Probably need a mop. Road figures unflinchingly clean thick gore from the stone floors. One of the kith looks up to you. A person can be described as looking without eyes. Hello.
These are the archives. The accumulated lore of those who see without being seen. Do not remove the books from the shelves.
The man's voice plods emotionlessly forward, as if he is heavily sedated.
Lest you face reprisal.
See without being seen. I see you now, and you have no eyes. He doesn't respond, save to stare blankly at you. Or not stare, exactly.
Kinda feels like he'd be blinking at you, if he had eyes to blink.
Do not interfere with the work of the archives, and its librarians will not interfere with you. Furthermore, the Oracle has limited patron admittance to the lower levels only. Trespassers in the upper floors will face reprisals.
Did the people you're cleaning up not follow the rules?
Not at all. These librarians were retired by an intruder wearing a mask.
Was this masked intruder a tall woman? Maybe named Maura?
I'm afraid not. A woman matching that description did ask access to the vault, however, we did not grant her request. Both intruders have entered the quarantined section to the east. We have not pursued, as that section is under quarantine.
Of course, the quarantine section is under quarantine. Don't steal your books. Don't go upstairs. Anything else I should know?
For your safety, please avoid the eastern stacks. They have been contaminated.
Contaminated?
The contamination will be remedied within 5 to 15 years. Please keep further conversation to a minimum.
The figure nods his eyeless head and turns away, returning to his work.
Real friendly sorts.
He rubs the back of his head and shrugs.
How may... Of course.
If they give me the opportunity to take books off the shelves, I will be doing so. Or at least reading. The stack of book exudes the smells of recently tanned leather and iron gall ink. That should be books, plural. Well, these books aren't on the shelf. Can I take these? Doesn't say it's stealing.
Oh, dang!
Okay. Are these the upper stacks? Or is that a separate area altogether?
What'd that book do to you?
Oh, I can knock it down so I can steal stuff.
Yes?
Of course.
I shall be discreet.
I haven't seen the books fall previously. Note on a missing subject. Subject P-0706 broke free of its cell, makes slow progress toward the other parts of the facility. We cannot cross from one end of our library to another without spores dusting our robes from some unseen limb of the colony. I've reported the matter, but our chief librarian is characteristically unconcerned. So that thing crossed into the restricted stacks. I hope she remembers who warned her. An addendum is scribbled below. Boris has gone missing. Likely infested, digested, or worse. What began as an irritation has escalated to a tragedy. I haven't the heart to tell the archive staff to call off the search. Once the dust settles, I'll take it upon myself to find them a new library mascot. I think this is new. Downtrodden Stink Pigeons, Volume 1. If anything about imps can be called subtle, it's that they are quietly the most complicated non-kith creatures of Eora. They speak our tongues, follow complex instructions, and have enough awareness to possess a sense of self and free will that defies the intellect of their primordial peers. Partnered with their latent ability to grow in proportion to the magical energies their bodies absorb, one would not be mistaken for concluding that imps are the rightful masters of their environment. So why aren't they? Much of our lore presumes that imps are a byproduct, little more than foul-mouthed pigeons formed of arcane runoff. Some of us believe this to be anything but the case. Legends recovered from early Woedican temples give more credit to these unloved creatures, referring to them in footnotes as the Firsts or the Fallen. Some have gone on to speculate that imps are the gods' discarded attempt to create life. We know that's not true because the gods came after. This account will spearhead my academic crusade to prove the value of imps, who deserve a fair shake from we who have spent our careers underestimating their worth. Oh, this could still be the case, though. Because they could have tried to create life after they were created.
Yes, of course.
Does it say...
How may I help?
They attempt to create life for Kith. Structural Integrity Report. This missive was addressed to an office of the Admiralty in Rawatai. Apparently it never made the journey. Great Hazanui, your flagship, the Tenets of Iron, really cool name for a ship, has not weathered the journey from the motherland as we had hoped. The sea was fierce, and an aggressive parasite infested the hull. When I sailed for the Deadfire, he told me that the Tenets must always lead the way, for we carry the motherland's heart. I tell you now that the ship is not battle-ready. Even a meager display of strength could send her to Andra's bosom. He instructed me not to take on a shipwright, but the pride of our armada cannot be seen to founder, or to enlist help from the Huana, lest they grow too familiar with our armaments. Yet, it is a matter of time before your flagship vanishes beneath the waves. What are your orders? A spray of salt water smudged out the signature. So maybe I should read this other one, because... Yeah, so all these are new, because this is all supposed to be hidden knowledge, which I assumed, but I'm pretty sure we read something about Grand Valia. Either way, armchair academics would tell you the fall was unavoidable, that it was Grand Valia's rapacious appetite for expansion that finally ended them, or regrettable inattentiveness to the necessity of maintaining critical infrastructure, or the Ouroboros of betrayal, revenge, and re-revenge that characterize their idle wealthy's leisure time. But they're wrong. No, it was Dokatsa, the tabby that ended it all. Dokatsa, a dead mouse dropped into a stew, and one very ill duke who, when told of the first in what would become a spate of vendetta-fueled murders among the families that controlled the Grand Valian economy, shouted at his valet to close the door and not disturb his rest again. He promptly died, and, as his valet studiously ignored the stench coming from his master's study, Grand Valia unraveled at the seams.
Oh?
Alright, I'm going to call it here. Next time we'll continue exploring the central stacks and go from there. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.